this type of opportunity for us to bring all these leaders together puts us at that level where they think of us first and ask us what we think before they implement. So as policies are being developed, whether it's at a government level or an industry partner that's floundering and just needs a little help, we're there to walk beside them in their journey. To create this sort of dialogue, an opportunity for conversation and awareness around inclusion and diversity in the workforce.
That diversity and inclusion in the workplace is something that's incredibly important for us to be looking at.
I would say that Women Building Futures holding this kind of conference is an important step to bring people together, create the networking environment, create the conversations that are necessary that lead to the next conversation.
And I thought, okay, I can do this. I got it. I got this.
I'm here because I think it's a great organization. It has helped us recruit and hire great people, and I wanted to hear what is new with my industry partners and Women Building Futures.
I think events like this are a really great opportunity to share, who's doing what are some of the ideas where people are getting traction.
What we really need to focus on now is retaining women. And so what we've learned is the best way to do that is to focus on creating inclusive workspaces that are really good for everyone.
And the value is when you're learning to think critically about yourself and you have the opportunity to sit down with someone who has more experience or more insight, you actually get insight into where your own blind spots lie.
I think it just deepens a conversation that a lot of us, I would argue most of us are having around inclusion and diversity. It's only through conversations and ultimately action that makes change. And so this is just for me personally and for Clark Builders, this is a part of the journey that we're all on.
If you could surround yourself with a cohort of like-minded people, then everybody gets to benefit from that improvement. So having a conversation about women in the trades allows us to serve that demographic who are so eager to be in this role where they're underrepresented in industry across our nation, across our continent.
Hear from a variety of people who are representative of not just the people who are working in the industry, but people who are supervisors, managers, who really want to implement change.
We wanted to bring them all together in the same room and say, how do we collectively, collaboratively talk about the challenges and barriers and then figure out what are the solutions to those.
There's a story to tell. This is all connected to this story. We're moving in the direction that you want. We're moving to be inclusive, and some of us are trying to do that as hard as we can.
We have a need. We have an industry that is going to lose a lot of skilled workers over the next 5 and 10 years. And women in the trades is part of the solution.
I think one of the things that I was particularly floored by is the hunger that people who are not Indigenous have to learn about how to navigate in the space of Indigenous partnerships and Indigenous relations.
I hope you will also have greater clarity on what we need to do to increase the number of Indigenous women in the workforce. It's an issue that speaks to the essence of who we are. It's not just a dry policy discussion.
Very excited for the future because women carry responsibility for the land and the water. And women are fantastic in the trades.
We're in that space of, I'd say, really heightened awareness, commitment, and now we're kind of transitioning into that. So what does that actually look like? How do we actually do it in our organizations, not just talk about it?
I think hope is built around exactly organizations like Women Building Futures, with the fact that they're starting these discussions and these conversations are happening and then creating momentum to make change.
Finish with 30 and Marcus with a whopping 43, so Marcus wins this battle.
Changes need to be made. That's been a consistent theme throughout the past day and a half. And now is the time. Now's the time for committing to engaging and hiring and retaining a competent workforce. Make the changes that you need to make. And don't just influence others to trade perspectives, demand it. Know that together we can create workforces that empower everyone to succeed. You got this. Thank you.